You and the Alchemist, man, y'all created two incredible albums together.
Yeah.
And we love to ask people with a combination or a collaboration like that, what type of duo would you say you and the Alchemist are like? We talked to Ryan Coogler. He said him and MBJ are more like Jordan and Phil Jackson than Mike and Scotty. What type of duo are y'all?
I would say that, definitely the Mike and Scotty duo come into play.
Okay, so you kind of transitioned it perfect. Freddie Gibbs, we asking Freddie Gibbs right now. Who's the GOAT? What up, everybody? Welcome to the Winning Formula Podcast. I'm your host, Devin Williams, aka Devinthelab.
And I'm Freddie Bionic Brooks. This is the show where we sit down with athletes, artists, actors, directors, and the best in the game to break down what it really takes to win. Not just the highlights. We're talking mindset, preparation, habits, sacrifices, and the moments that separate the good from the great.
And you guys already know how I get down. I'm always looking for the winning formula. So each episode, I'm always looking for what it is that made a person great. But we're going to do a lot of different things on this podcast. So make sure that you guys like, comment, subscribe, all the videos. And hey, look, don't just visit us, join us. Subscribe right now. And we're going to give you the content that you didn't know that you needed.
Hey, and today we about to get straight to it with a real one. Our guest today is Freddie Gibbs, one of the most respected voices in rap. From Gary, Indiana to the world, he built a catalog on consistency, craft, and pressure. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, just straight work. Today, we're going to break down his winning formula, how he stays sharp, how he moves through the industry, and what it takes to stay elite for years, the mindset behind the movies, the music, and the moves. Freddie Gibbs is here. Let us tap in.
We good to go? All right, let's do it. First of all, man, it's nice to meet you. Welcome to the Winning Formula Podcast. My name is Devin. This is my co-host, Teron. We both work for Ballislife.
For sure. I'm a big fan of you, Devin, already, man. You
know my dog.
Hey, there we go.
You be catching everybody.
I made everything a lot easier.
You like the doctor of basketball. You be catching everybody traveling.
Yeah. I'm asking a basketball question because I know what you be on in terms of football and basketball. We're gonna talk about that later, but Teron, go ahead. I'll let you take it.
Man, we're gonna pop it off. You a guy that's winning in a lot of different ways, man. And your most recent win comes with Night Patrol. This film, it was a roller coaster ride. What really attracted you to this project specifically?
I mean, really, the director, man, Ryan, he's a good friend, and he wrote me a letter back in the day and expressed that he wanted me to, be in this film, and that was a few years ago. So, just to see it coming to fruition for him and everything that, come to life for him, I'm glad that I was a part of it, you know what I mean? But, I definitely wanted to do a horror film. That's something that I want to scratch off my bucket list and something that I want to get into even more.
You did a great job. And what would you say is the hardest part about stepping into this character, into this role? Was it more challenging emotionally or mentally?
I would say, where the challenge came into play is just really just nailing getting the whole LA feel. I've been living in LA for like, 20 years. So, it was kind of not easy, but it was, more simpler for me to, kind of get the gist of, the way the gang bangers was reacting, how I had to, come in and thankful that I had YG on set with me to play off of him a little bit. So, but other than that, the only real challenge was just making sure everything was, the continuity was there and it was all cohesive.
And you mentioned YG and working with him. How often have y'all worked together in the past, and what does that feel like?
Man, it's crazy. I've known YG for probably I want to say the better part of 15 years, because I used to be around YG during the time when he was, we were both signed to Young Jeezy at a certain point. And when he was on the freshman cover. So I've known YG for a very, very long time, you know what I mean? And, we worked together back then. Maybe in the future we'll do some more work because I know he's working on new music, but he always been a good guy. Like I said, I've been living out here damn near 20 years and always bumping into him and his crew, and it's always been love. So, for us to be in a film together, that's, that was amazing.
So horror is best when it feels real. So what do you think the movie is saying about all the stuff underneath? you know, because as I'm watching it, it just feels like there's an underlying message there, you know.
Correct. You know, that's another thing that I saw in the script. You got a lot of underlying messages in this film. I mean, you got the aspect of the. I mean, you could look at what's going on in America right now, and you know, with the ICE thing, and kind of relate that to it. You know, I mean, that kind of parallels to, you know, that, you know, with the law enforcement coming into people's homes and snatching them out. You know, I feel like, you know, as blacks, you know, we've been dealing with this type of element and issue for a long time. You know, it's just not at the maybe at the level of a immigration level, because, you know, they kind of enslaved us. They ain't really got nowhere to put us. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but with our uncles and fathers and older brothers and things of that nature, losing their you know, freedom and lives to the crack era. You know, I think that you know, the way the crack era affected, you know, especially my community. Me, I grew up in it. I was raised in it. So, you know, I saw the executions by police, the murders, the things of that nature. You know what I mean? During that era, you know what I mean? And it, you know, and this is now, like I said, it's happening on a different level, you know, in different communities and different cultures. And, you know, it's pretty much the same thing. They just got just a different angle against, you know, maybe the Latino or Caribbean culture or whoever they're, you know, targeting to, you know, put out of the country. You know, I mean, it's a struggle for everybody.
I got like this whole idea of night patrol being like a unit that just operates off the books.
Yeah,
Um,
that
what was your takeaway from that idea?
it was, you know, we had you know, every city kind of got those kind of like off the book kind of units. Like you had, I mean, in LA back in the day, I'm pretty sure that they looked up the Rampart division. You know, that was like a crooked division, police division in LA. You know, in Gary, we had the Grit. You know what I mean? So it's different task force within a lot of police organizations that kind of do their own thing, you know what I mean? And, you know, they making movies about it. I mean, Ben Affleck and what was it, Matt Damon just made a new movie about a team of guys, you know, doing stuff. So, you know, it's definitely a lot of these offshoot police organizations that really go in there and tear into the community.
And the movie really had a lot of serious themes, like you mentioned. And I felt like there were a lot of moments to where there's a lot of sense of humor. It was pretty funny at some different times. Was it accurate that y'all wanted folks to laugh at some of y'all characters and some of y'all moments in the movie?
I think that people were just laughing at me because they
No, you killed it.
I was going off script a little bit, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna need lie. I went off script a little bit, and I thank Ryan for like give me a little runway to kind of like, you know, add a little something to my character. You know what I mean? I ain't want people to take my character all the way serious. You know what I mean? I wanted him to be real. So it's like, you know, like everything, you know, I feel like if I approached it just straight edge, like Bornelius blood, like too, like it wouldn't have been real. It wouldn't have been, you know what I mean? It would have just felt fake. And I feel like a little tad bit of the comedic element to Bornelius is what, you know, made his character like well-rounded.
And what would you say was the funnest scene for you to film and go off script a little bit? Without giving too much away. Yeah, without giving too much away.
Probably like the scenes with CM Punk, because I was really scared. I was really scared he's gonna get bad. I mean, that dude big in person, man. I ain't small. I'm 6'3". So I've seen this motherfucker walking around. I'm like, hey, let me, you know, stay on his good side. You know what I'm saying? We go to the craft services. Let me not get in the way and eat too many of his snacks. So
yo, that's hilarious.
It was fun. The whole movie was fun. The whole thing was fun.
That's what's up. Were there any scenes in like Night Patrol where your music or your background in music really helped you as an actor?
I'd say I tell people this. And you know, I work with some, you know, some good actors, good directors, good producers, and all of them always tell me the same thing, like to to be the best actor you can be, you got to like know the whole script and know everybody's lines, including yours. So you know what's coming next, and you know what you know. It's easy for you to foreshadow and be a better actor that way. So I mean, and, you know, when I'm up there on that stage every night, I'm performing for an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I got to remember 30 songs. You know what I mean? And that ain't no, you know, easy task. You know what I'm saying? Especially I ain't got no hype man, ain't no backing track, anything of that nature. You know what I mean? It don't matter if I wrote the songs or not. You know what I mean? A lot of those songs that I'll be performing is like 10, 15 years old, and I don't listen to them every day no more, you know, it's as much as my fans do. So when I get up there, you know, you got to really rehearse, and you really got to know your lines and know your cues and things of that nature. You know what I mean? So that alone right there, the performance aspect that I, you know, been carrying for 20 years definitely helps me be a better actor for sure.
So it's called the winning formula. And, you know, for me, you kind of answered some of the questions just now, but for me, I'm always trying to figure out like the keys, the blueprint. I think our success leaves a blueprint, it leaves a path, right? So, you know, your experience with rapping and doing different things, I think that's kind of helping you out in what you're doing today. So my question is like, you know, I see that you're clearly trying to get into acting and
Right.
be, I mean, you put it out there, you're trying to be the best rapper actor, right?
Yeah,
So like
definitely.
what's going on in, you know, the future? What kind of projects would you be interested? Because this one was a horror. What else are you looking to get into?
I mean, for my last album, Alfredo, you know, we had the short film with it. You know, I pretty much was writing and directing that. So, you know, shout out to my partner Nick Walker, you know, they helped me develop that. You know, so I feel like now, since I did that, I feel like every music project that I come out with, I gotta have some film representation with it. So, you know, my goal going forward is, you know, when I drop music, to have some type of film or short film or even long form type of film with it. You know, I think that the album is really, you know, the music been the soundtrack to my life already. So it's like now I want to like put more visual art to it, other than just videos. I feel like videos is boring. Like we don't even do the VMAs is over with. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a music video is cool. You know what I mean? Like once people start like shooting cheap music videos in the kitchen, you know, that kind of got like redundant to me. So I'm just like, now I want to just do it on a different level. It's like, if we can make an album, why not make a film? You know what I mean? And you know, I look up to the guys that did it before me, the Ice Cubes, the Commons, you know, guys of that nature that I've been looking at since I was a child, you know, and I draw inspiration from them. Guys like 50 Cent, who really made the ultimate transition to, you know, the film executive to directing and producing and acting. So I mean, it's, you know, the examples are out there for us. You know, we just got to just draw that inspiration and build on things ourselves.
And one of my favorite, going back to the film, one of my favorite characters was the mom. Talk about working alongside, because she was intense throughout that movie, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Talk
Nikki
about
Michelle.
working alongside her.
Yeah, Nikki, she definitely one of the best actors I ever worked with. She definitely put her heart, soul, and emotion into it. You know, like, you know, we felt like she was all our mama when we was on set. So it was you know, it was like having your auntie or your mom on set with you, and she really brought that warmth and that real sense of community to the role. And you know, I think she's the best actor in the film, you ask me.
Now, this is something that I was like, Terrell, you got any questions more about the film? Because I don't want to give away too much.
I don't either, man. I'm really excited about the film coming out, people watching it and seeing it. You did your thing, but I want to get into the music, Dev.
Okay. Go for it. Go for it.
You and the Alchemist, man, y'all created 2 incredible albums together.
Yeah.
And we love to ask people, you know, with a combination or a collaboration like that, what type of duo would you say you and the Alchemist are like? We talked to Ryan Coogler. He said him and MBJ are more like Jordan and Phil Jackson than Mike and Scotty. What type of duo are y'all? Would you say like Shaq and Kobe, Wade and Brian, MJ and Pippen? What you thinking?
I would say that, you know, definitely the Mike and Scotty duo come into play. I mean, the first track on Alfredo 1 is called 1985. You know what I mean? Right. Because when I was making it, I was watching The Last Dance. That's when The Last Dance first came out. It was like 2019, 2020. So when I was making that, I was actually watching The Last Dance. So The Last Dance pretty much inspired, you know, me making the whole Alfredo franchise. So, you know, I would definitely, you know, I'm a Bulls fan anyway. So, you know, it's tough being a Bulls fan right now, but I'm a Bulls fan of the '90s Bulls.
It's bad times right now.
I always got to give it up to Mike and Scott.
Okay, so you kind of transitioned it perfect. Freddie Gibbs, we asking Freddie Gibbs right now. Who's the GOAT?
Mike. Off the top. And I love, and it always come up to like, is it LeBron or Mike? I love LeBron. LeBron we'll probably never see another player like LeBron either. But you know, when it come to like this thing we call basketball, man, like it wouldn't be where it's at. Like it wouldn't be where it's at economically, financially, the growth of the whole game. I mean, he grew the game. You know, he brought finesse to the game. He brought that killer instinct to the game. You know what I mean? Like people talk about MJ, and you know, I hate to quote Stephen A. Smith, but like when they talk about MJ, they had fear. You know what I mean? It was fear going into it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, when fear precedes your name, man. I mean, you can't be nothing but the GOAT. You know.
Hey, you heard it first.
You could compare careers. LeBron played longer. He might have more points. You know what I mean? But I mean, them killers like MJ and Kobe. You know what I mean? Like they don't come around very often. You know what I mean? And you know, and I just feel like just MJ set the tone for like basketball. And I know a lot of these like guys under 30 probably didn't even see him play, but you know, like you'll never be able to change my mind on that.
And going up for that too, like I'm like a Kobe MJ guy, and like them dudes kind of how you draw motivation from certain things, like they kind of taught me what hard work is, you know, to where I can use it in different fields of my life. Like, do you draw like inspiration from sports, like guys like that too?
Oh my God, definitely, man. You know what I mean? Like, definitely. Michael Jordan is the ultimate competitor. You know, so I mean, you know, growing up watching that as a kid in Gary in the '90s, that's all we had. We had Channel 9, WGN, Sports Channel, the Bulls. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, just to witness Jordan in the '90s as a child was like, it's a different thing. You know what I mean? It's just like, man, I can really go out and get it. You know what I mean? Like he had, I mean, R. Kelly made a song about Michael Jordan.
I feel that.
It's one of the greatest songs ever. You know? Like your theme song was written by one of the greatest songwriters of all time. You know what I mean? It's one of the greatest songs ever. You know what I mean? And I love R. Kelly. I ain't about to say free R. Kelly, but we pray for him every day, man.
I hear that. I believe I can fly.
Hashtag pray for Kells, man.
Pray for Kells, for sure.
That's a good one. That's a good one. And you talk about like mindset, right? You talk about some of the people that kind of help shape that killer mindset. You mentioned 50 Cent earlier.
Oh yeah.
Who's your GOAT MC, or who's somebody that you look at in the MC space that kind of gives you that same type of mentality?
Tupac. Tupac for sure. To me, Tupac, greatest all around rapper of all time. Kind of like voice, lyrics, performance. I mean, just like just overall aesthetic. I just think that he's to me, he's the best. And like I said, you know, people are gonna debate that all day, just like they debate the basketball question. But you know, for me, it was always Tupac and like Scarface. Scarface brought such a story element that, you know, that we could relate to. I mean, like you ask like any guys from my era or before me, like kids and guys that grew up in the '90s, like in Chicago, in that Chicago area, they'll tell you Scarface is the greatest rapper of all time. You know, so you know, those two guys really did it for me and made me, you know, really got me into the space of rap because I felt like they were speaking to everything that I was seeing every day as a child.
I have this thing where it's a lot of people that kind of watch and look for different advice, and this is a personal question that I have for you. And we're talking about MJ. I want to get back to your film, but before we do that, MJ was like, when he walks into the room, his aura just like, you're not overexposed to him. You don't get him that much. So when you do, everybody's like, whoa, and we're in a day and age where everybody gets exposed. You can go live and people can see exactly where you're at right now and what you're doing, and people do it so often that it almost doesn't feel special. So for somebody that's trying to really build something, do you believe in kind of like keeping yourself tucked away and then when you pop out, it's a thing? Or like, we got phones, like giving yourself, overexposing yourself. For somebody that's trying to get to a level that you're at, how would you view that?
I think that in the era that we in with the internet and all of that, so many different social platforms and things of that nature. I mean, like, I feel like, we naturally get the urge to want to, display ourselves and promote ourselves, especially if we got product or music or something that we're trying to push. Everybody like definitely in a race to promote themselves. And I feel like, when you get to a certain level, you got to walk a fine line. Like for me, from me personally, I think that, I don't feel the need to be on live every day or showing my face every day or showing what I'm doing all day long, because I feel like it takes away from the mystique of what I got going on. You know what I mean? Like, the only really thing I use social media for is just to post memes and jokes. Like, so like I feel like I don't got to give people too much of my life because I'm already giving it to you on wax. Like if I'm showing you, if I'm crashing out every day on IG, like you might not want to listen to my album. You know what I mean? Because you getting me for free all day long. You know what I mean? And I know some rappers like that I be looking at and getting entertained by every day. I ain't gonna say no names, but I look at them every day and I repost it and it's funny. And I used to care about their music, but now I don't. Now I'm really just going to the page because I just want to see Buddy crash out every day and make jokes. You know what I mean? And it ain't nothing, it ain't no slight to him, but I mean, it's like now you got to pick a side. You got to pick, am I going to be this internet meme? Am I going to be entertainment for these people on this level? Or am I going to be entertainment for these people on this level? When they see me in music, or when they see me in a film. You know what I mean? So I feel like, you walk a fine line. I gotta make you respect my art. I'm not an influencer. I'm an artist.
I got one more question. I'm gonna let Teron, say whatever he wants, but I'm going back to the film. After we watch this film, what do you want the audience to feel?
I definitely want them to be entertained. I want them to laugh, obviously, because I was making people all set laugh. But like you spoke in the beginning, man, it's underlying messages to this. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that Ryan and the rest of the writers, touched on these, topics in the film. We definitely been subject to, police brutality and police mistreatment, as a community for years. You know what I mean? Since the beginning of time, since slavery. You know what I mean? Police officer. I mean, all that is another form of a overseer. You know what I mean? That was on the plantation. So it's like, and we brought in some of that tribal element, you know what I mean, to just make you get the sense of what our people are about. I feel like there's not enough Black culture exposed, and through film and through art, and I think that we kind of blended all that and put it in on the surface of a vampire movie. So I think that's the cool element about it.
You hit the nail on the head. I mean, what if you had to describe Night Patrol in one word, how would you describe it and tell folks really why they should go see it? I know you described it now, but if we're talking to the general public, tell them why they should go see this movie right now.
Oh man, if I had to describe it in one word, I say it's bloody. Nah, but nah, for the most part, I don't think it's any other film like it. I think that the Black vampire space was something to be revisited. I'm glad that Ryan Coogler and Sinners did their thing and really kick down the door, you know, with what they got, and that, you know, that's amazing. I mean, but you can go back to as far back as blaxploitation films with like Blackula and you know, and things of that nature. And people don't give enough credit to Vampire in Brooklyn, which was an amazing Eddie Murphy movie that he don't get enough credit for. But you know, blacks, you know, in vampire movies is cool to me. You know what I mean? So I just, you know, I'm glad that we got to kind of like cross the genre with that.
Who you like looking to for like your mentors right now? I got a lot of mentors. People don't think, you know, I'm pushing 40, but I got a lot of them. Do you have a lot of them in the music space and the acting space?
In the acting space for sure, man. Don Cheadle is one guy that I could lean on. They say we look alike, so you know, you know, like, you know, if I got questions or anything like that, you know, he's always like a text or phone call away. You know, in music, I don't look up to nobody. Nah, I'm joking. Uncle Face always a call away. You know what I mean? And I always, you know, chop it up with him and, you know, things of that nature. You know, Pusha T's a good friend as well. So, you know, when I need advice in music, I, you know, call people that I really respect. So.
And when you talk about respect and credibility in this space, what actor, actress, director would you like to work with next? And is there any dream artist you want to collaborate with on the song?
Man, actors. It's so many guys that I want to work with, man. I just watched that show Task. I want to work with Mark Ruffalo. That'd be a dream, you know, to work with him on something. Man, so many people in the Hollywood world that I would love to work with. I read for Paul Thomas Anderson a long time ago for a movie called Inherent Vice, but I didn't get the role. I lost that role out to Michael K. Williams, rest in peace. You know what I mean? So he was definitely a big acting inspiration as well. So you know, it's just like with music, man. I want to work with who want to work with me. I want it to be organic. I don't really want nothing forced. You know what I mean? I want, you know, directors and producers to like, oh yeah, that's my guy. I don't want them to, you know, I don't want to feel like, you know, they putting me in a role somewhere, sticking me somewhere I don't need to be. And, you know, another thing with this too, like in the acting world, you know, I feel like a lot of actors feel like that rappers come in and they got it easy or they put in these roles and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like I really put in the work for this, you know what I mean? And I put in the, you know, I'm really right now, I'm making my bones in this game and I'm really trying to, you know, get to where I got to go as an actor, you know, as an overall entertainer. You know, I don't want, like I said, people in the acting world to think I'm just getting put in roles because I can rap very well. You know, that's just something that I just happen to do very well. It ain't my fault. You ain't got no talent, motherfucker. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, but, you know, I'm really working hard at this and, you know, my transition is going to be smooth because I'm diligent in my work.
It's all about rap.
It's the whole thing. My fault, Bonnie.
No, it's all about rap.
Actors want to be rappers. Rappers want to be hoopers. Hoopers want. It's like the whole.
And I see a bunch of them motherfuckers trying to come on to the rap side and can't do it. Can't do it.
Well, hold on. I got something. Who is the best hooper turned rapper?
Wow.
That's a good one.
The best hooper turned rapper.
Like no, I don't want to say. All right, the hooper that rap.
Jello had the biggest hit. Jello had the biggest hit. I mean, you got to give it to Jello. Ain't nobody touching Jello. You know what I'm saying? Kobe. I mean, Jello was bigger than Kobe music career. Just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a fact.
As far as like musicians that I've like hooped against, that's like the best that can hoop. Chris Brown, man. I think Chris Brown could do anything, dog. Chris Brown hit a 3 on me and did a backwards flip on the court. I said, this nigga is not real. You know what I'm saying? He smoked a cigarette.
Shut up, Breezy.
I said, Chris, ain't nothing that Chris can't do, man. For he's an alien, man. Hey, I don't think nobody could hoop Chris. Chris Brown could hoop. For real.
No, he got game.
And Snoop old ass could hoop too.
How tall is Snoop?
Snoop like 6'6".
What? Dang.
Snoop tall as hell. Snoop could hoop. Still probably could hoop. could still probably hoop. That game, I think we ain't played in like 5 years, but he was giving guys buckets for sure.
I watched the All-Star game where he got on the break and dunked it. I was like, he's like 40.
Hey, Snoop could hoop. Snoop could do it all too. But that Chris Brown will dunk on you, then do a backflip, then smoke a cigarette, then go to concert that same night.
Start dancing on the girl.
Man, come on. Real, dog. And we'll take your girlfriend with him.
Hey, I wanna say this, man. I meet a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you being true. A lot of people they're just different people, and it's like I'm talking to somebody I've been knowing for a long time. So
yeah, man.
No, I don't need to say that. I just appreciate you being real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Humility is everything, man. A lot of people in this game don't got that. We lose the human element of this with all of this social media stuff, man. And we got to get out of that as people. You know what I mean? I was telling somebody the other day. I was telling my brother. I was like, man, I remember back in the day, like we used to, especially as blacks, we used to walk past each other and we used to speak and nod our head, even if you ain't know each other. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like I look at a motherfucker and look him in the eyes for too long. You want to fight? So it's like, dude, we gotta get back. We gotta get back right as a people, man.
We got to do better, man. We really appreciate you, bro. Thank you for taking the time with us, sitting down, chopping it up with us. We look forward to all your future projects. Come back, sit with us, talk about it next time. And we can't wait until the next album comes out, bro. Appreciate you, Freddie Gibbs.
Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate y'all having me, man.
Absolutely, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro. Thank you, man. I'm gonna reach out to you.
Yeah, for sure. Hit me on Twitter. I'll slide you my number.
I got you.
Yes, sir.
That's a wrap on the episode of The Winning Formula powered by Ballislife. Big shout out to our guest, Freddie Gibbs, for tapping in, pulling up, and giving us real game. If you took something from this, don't just listen. Apply it. And if you rocking with us, rocking with the show, make sure you like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that. It helps more than you think. Follow us at Devinthelab, Bionic Brooks, and Ballislife for clips and updates. We'll be back with another episode soon. Until then, stay locked in, stay consistent, and keep building your winning formula. We'll see y'all next
one.
Peace.